There's a cold wind blowing across my heart. Feels like forever since we've been apart. It's so hard, baby. I don't know where to begin. I've been so lucky in this life of mine. The best of both worlds most of the time. But now I know it's time for me to go. Fare thee well.
This is a personal favorite, Forevermore. We've been working on it for pretty much 12 months now. We started the writing process, Doug Aldrich, the guitarist, and I started back in January.
Stevie, yeah. That's a grab you use on the acoustic.
Yeah, it's on fairly well. The big, you know.
So we're almost
And that was the beginning, and we were off and running. And, we've recorded 13 songs. The other big difference really now is the way we record. We're in now a rental house in Lake Tahoe that we call Grumble Knot Studios and Villa. It's obviously not been designed as a studio, so we make all of these things that you see. These are all mobile and portable. And Pro Tools, I can't say enough good things about it. Mac and Pro Tools, mwah!
But it's alright. I'll be there one of these days. Leave it all behind. Break one of these days.
Shake it, baby. Nothing else, just this.
But it's alright. I'll be there one of these days.
The process is as usual. Doug Aldrich and I create the songs. He's been familiar with Whitesnake from the early years on, which is very unusual for my American musicians. They're usually familiar with stuff from the Slide It In album, what we call the Geffen records. But he had a good handle on when Whitesnake was more of a hard rock rhythm and blues band, so those elements, you know, we still have now.
The way that we write, we basically get a couple acoustic guitars and sit down, kind of bang some ideas around, and when we find something that you know, seems like it's got potential, we'll just take it right into the studio and start to, you know, kind of mock up an arrangement of the song, just rough, you know, but with drums and bass and then maybe electric guitars or whatever, and then, you know, spend maybe 3 or 4 days just fine-tuning that song to see what it's going to develop into.
The Forevermore album is a real good balance album with ballads as well as rock stuff. Once again, it's going to be torturous trying to decide what songs to play in concert. We're blessed actually with a fantastic amount of songs.
You know, I've been in Whitesnake for 8 years now, and I think Doug and I have been in the band longer than any guitar player, and you know, throughout that 8 years, we've grown closer and closer. And on this record, we did it a lot differently than we've ever done anything else. It was much more personal. This time, I was there for the whole thing. You know, I flew in and I worked really closely with Doug, who was my engineer. He was punching me in and you know, giving me suggestions, and it made such a difference for me on you know, well, for one thing, my happiness with the outcome of the record, you know, and I was really happy that I came into the picture and they had some really strong songs, you know.
Is that 4? Here's 4. Okay.
Just looking forward to getting good drum sounds, and I think we achieved that. And Doug was a blast to work with in the studio. If you're into Whitesnake, you're not going to be let down. If you're into rock and roll, hard rock, big loud rock, and beyond, this would be a record you should have in your collection.
Yes.
overall, I like the record very much. The more I'm listening to it, we just got the final mix. So I've been absorbing it nightly, and I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's great. I think there's some great guitar playing. Brian's laid down some really killer drum tracks, and I'm proud of what I've contributed, bass-wise and harmonica-wise, and vocally too.
I didn't really plan to do a new studio record in 2010. I have so many projects on the back burner that I was going to address so I could just concentrate on performing live or whatever while I still can. I still have the knees to do it. But one of the projects, it actually has been the most requested project on WHITESNAKE.com, is a live video from the Donington show, The Monsters of Rock in 1990.
Light 'em up, Donington, let's have a look at you, come on!
We've done everything we can. Of course, this is before high definition or whatever. The sound is great, you know, it's great digital sound. We're going to be looking at that in June or July. It's a summer release on Frontiers, and it's really cool. And it's packed with unseen footage, unseen photographs from the Slip of the Tongue Liquor and Poker World Tour. There's going to be a behind-the-scenes documentary there. It's just a lot of fun. So that's going to be live at Donington, 1990. It's featuring Steve Vai, Adrian Vandenberg, Rudy Sarzo, Tommy Aldridge, and my good self, David Coverdale, on vocals.
There's a cold wind blowing across my heart. Feels like forever since we've been apart. It's so hard, baby. I don't know where to begin.
Whitesnake is a song-based band. Everything defers to the song. The song is what lives forever. Musicians get old, images become amusing or out of date, but songs have the potential to live forever. And that's always been the focus of mine personally, is to write songs that you can stick in your pocket and travel, you know, accompany you on your journey through life. Here I Go Again is a prime example. Everyone I speak to has a Here I Go Again story, which is either getting laid at college or helping them through a particular difficult emotional crisis in their lives. My musicians, I encourage to work in other projects so I can focus on the creative aspect of Whitesnake. Well, that's it, boys and girls. The new Whitesnake album, Forevermore. And later in the summer, of course, the 2011 for Live at Donington 1990. The tour's getting set up. The video's just ready to get sent around the world. It's a very, very exciting time. I'm very proud of the record. I'm very proud of what we've achieved, and hopefully you'll enjoy it and add it to your Whitesnake collection, because it's already got pride of place in mine. Can't wait to see you this summer and sing and play for you. Introduce the new Snakes to you, Michael Devon and Brian Tishy. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have a lot of fun.
I'm going home.